flagged emails, and multiple suspensions. WAND News started investigating a teacher assistant at Eisenhower High School last November after a Decatur parent filed an emergency protective order against him. We're not naming the teacher since the Macon County State's attorney says he's not being criminally charged at this time. WAND News found out problems started 3 years ago in November of 2020. An IT employee emailed administrators about possible nude content on a district device. We obtained records showing the alert went out on Friday, November 6th at 10:31 and 11:58 in the morning. A few days later, the teacher was scheduled for an investigation meeting where he sat down with school and union officials. District records show he admitted to downloading 6 images on his district device, saying, quote, "I thought I had stored them on my personal desktop." When pressed to explain why he downloaded the images on his school device during school hours, he said, quote, "I've just been so lonely, I was looking for comfort."
So if there was material that's been downloaded, we're going to investigate what the material is, why it's there, what happened, what time of day, that kind of thing.
The Macon-Piatt Special Education District Director suspended the teacher without pay for 2 days. After that suspension, he was back to class at Eisenhower High School.
Can you say in the specific case, because I know the person was moved, whether there is still any sort of investigation or whether you're still looking into this employee at this point?
I can't say anything about this employee.
Less than 2 years later, district records showed the teaching assistant started getting into trouble again.
And she came running up the stairs and she says, "Mom, I need to talk to you."
This Decatur mom says her daughter was one of the troubled teaching assistant students at Eisenhower last semester.
She said there's more, in the classroom. He would always call me down to the front. He would always be sitting in my seat. He would always tell me to come sit here with this test. You're working too fast, you just slow down. She goes, he's just always calling on me. And she was like, and I don't understand why.
Then she showed us this encounter.
That is not appropriate whatsoever.
That's when the district brought the educator in for another investigatory meeting. Records show he denied doing anything inappropriate but was suspended without pay for 2 more days, but then continued to teach.
Parents of these students feel like this person has repeatedly been, harming children, and they've been found to have been doing something wrong, and still they're with the school district. So I guess what would you want to let those parents know?
I can't comment about an employee. As far as all students, we take every complaint seriously.
In the weeks after the locker incident, the same student accused him of stalking her.
Coming around where she was at, would stand and stare at her or be in her area, in close areas, and she would go into anxiety, PTSD attacks.
That led to the 3rd investigatory meeting. He denied stalking the student, so the parents took matters into their own hands. Her parents filed an emergency restraining order, which was granted by a Macon County judge in October and extended until January. But the judge found there wasn't enough evidence to leave a permanent protective order in place. Emails show the day the emergency order was granted, the Special Education District moved the TA from Eisenhower to Stephen Decatur Middle School. He's still teaching there. Records show Eisenhower principal Dr. Amy Zom saying she felt the teacher wasn't taking the issue seriously even after multiple conversations.
When are you going to protect the child and not the one who's had more than one incident? When is something considered serious enough, and why isn't one time enough?
This mom is now demanding the Special Education District immediately remove him as a teaching assistant. She's also calling on DPS 61 to also remove him from his role as a coach.
And if the first time his situation in 2020 was taken care of, then it wouldn't have been hands-on to my child at this point or the ones after.
Reporting in Decatur, Alyssa Patrick, WAND News.